Let's talk to Sheila Granger, who's from Beverley, who is helping people lose weight with gastric bands, but without a surgeon's knife being involved in any way, shape or form. Sheila's here. Sheila, nice to meet you. Maybe you can explain how you do this using the mind.
Yeah.
Sorry for the listeners. I've just done the whirling circle round my right temple there to suggest the mind.
It's a bit better than a swinging watch.
Yes, indeed. Tell me about this. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, this is a process that I developed maybe 2 years ago now, with an initial trial of volunteers. Mm-hmm. By getting somebody to, I suppose, imagine an operation. And see whether an operation for a gastric band, and see whether that would actually help the mindset change, I suppose. Right. It sounds very far-fetched, I have to say, and most people are very cynical about it.
Yeah.
In reality, though, it's not really about getting somebody to believe that they've got a gastric band fitted. Hypnotherapy helps somebody make small, realistic changes. Mm-hmm. And we all know to lose weight that we either have to eat less or exercise more.
Yep.
So with that gastric band side of things, it's a concept to get somebody to focus far more on what the tummy's telling them than the head or their eyes.
Right.
And develop a new set of habits that somebody can realistically live with without feeling like they're on a diet. Because a lot of diets, I suppose, fail because people think they're going to involve some sort of deprivation or denial. Mm-hmm. So if somebody can eat what they want, but in much smaller amounts, they're much more likely to get to where they want to be and stay there. Mm-hmm. And it's all, I suppose, about putting somebody in the right zone in the mind, because we all know what we have to do, but we find it so hard to get into that zone in the first place.
Tell me about it. I've been in so many zones and come out the other side thinking, well, I knew what I was meant to do, but I'm out the other side. What sort of results have you had?
It's always difficult, if you like, to claim, I suppose, success rates.
Yeah.
In the initial trials that were done a couple of years ago, they were about 95% successful.
Right.
Over the short period of time that those trials were measured. And I see, when I'm here in the UK, maybe on average, 25, 30, 35 clients a week in, week out, right, just doing the same sort of process. And again, it seems to work, I would say, for about 80 to 90% of the people that I see, because I work with somebody until they're comfortable and I'm comfortable that they can actually carry it on, that the mindset has changed. But I know that the only way to really claim success rates is to have medical evidence behind me.
Yeah, how are you received by the medical profession? Are they saying, it's hocus pocus?
Well, it's different. People say different things, and a lot of it's because there's not a huge understanding of what hypnotherapy actually is.
Yeah.
Because when people assume it's the stage stuff, when you're with the next piece of music, you'll think you're the world's greatest stripper, and nothing can be further from the truth.
I'm not playing that music today because I don't want to get me moobs out.
Yeah. So, but I've been talking to the medical profession for the last couple of years now to try and gain some sort of credibility from them.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased to say that I now have clinical trials that start with the medical profession on the 12th of March.
Okay. So what will happen there? Are you looking for case studies?
The university will put out for subjects.
Is this Hull University?
It's Hull University.
Right.
Yeah, Hull University, Hull York Medical School. Something called the Honey Project, who get sponsorships for all sorts of different trials on different methods to help people. So, those trials will last an 18-week period when the results will be measured to see, does this help significantly more with somebody to lose weight than other methods.
So if this comes off and this works, you're going to go global, aren't you?
Well,
you've gone global already, haven't you?
What's happened, because I do a lot of work to raise the credibility of the profession, if you like, that I get invited by associations now from all over the world to teach my techniques that I've developed here to other therapists. Now, people assume that you've become a millionaire if you've gone global, and there's nothing that can be further from the truth, really. It's about making it available for more people. That's because really, with any form of dieting, if people have got themselves in a rut and that rut's gone on, it's potentially life-threatening if people become, and it makes people miserable, depressed, all those things. So it's about people, it's about changing people's lives and helping people get to where they want to be.
Stay with me, Sheila, if you don't mind. We're going to talk to Ellie Birch, who has lost a lot of weight. She's on the phone now this morning and might share a story. Ellie, nice to talk to you. She's in Sprotely, by the way. Thanks for your patience. Tell us your story. How sort of heavy were you, and how much have you lost? And there was a sad reason to sort of instigate this, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the nails have already been hit on the head. It's one of them things that you need something basically to change your life around. Unfortunately, I lost my dad to heart disease through obesity. It was actually on the operating table at Hull Royal Infirmary at the time. Right. Horrific Christmas and all the rest of it, and then I decided that enough was enough. And I think the word diet actually is possibly the world's worst word, because nobody is on a diet. It's all about a lifestyle change, and that's what I needed to do. Unfortunately, it took Dad to die for me to realise that, if you like. I didn't want to go with him. I started calorie counting and have lost 6 stone.
Oh, well done.
Purely through small changes. It's not been anything huge. I've not been on a diet. I have been on a lifestyle change. But it needed something to click that into place, you know, and to change me, if you like. And whether that be through hypnosis or, you know, God forbid, somebody dying, or the fact that I couldn't get up the stairs. I was so depressed with my weight, feeling a very, very low ebb. I mean, I've got the beauty that I've got a husband who is absolutely brilliant. You know, he supports me 100%, and he himself's lost a couple of stone as well.
Did you have, at any stage, have you had hypnotherapy? Would you consider it?
I have had it in the past.
How did it go?
The thought of any sort of bariatric surgery, to be fair, whether it be through hypnosis or actually going through it itself, fills me with absolute horror. But it is a very, very personal opinion. I couldn't go through it. I almost can't understand anybody that would want to put their body through the
actual surgery.
Yeah, when it doesn't take a lot to change.
But what if somebody like Sheila sort of worked on the mental side of things? Because you don't mention surgery, do you, Sheila? I mean,
yeah, I mean, with Ellie, I mean, what's happened with you, Ellie, is that you had that trigger, if you like, so that changed things mentally with you.
Yeah.
And I suppose with hypnotherapy, it's for people who haven't reached that stage, haven't got that mental trigger that's changed things. I mean, you've done fantastically well and done it absolutely the right way. It is about making small, realistic lifestyle changes so that you can get to where you want to be and stay there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's to help those people, I suppose, who haven't got that trigger, and, you know, God forbid anybody gets that sort of trigger, that wake-up call, I suppose, to what the potential outcome is of the habits that they've got if they continue with them.
Yeah, well, I've hit that dreaded plateau, so if ever you need anybody to work on for a plateau, then please take my telephone number.
Oh, well, we might... Do you fancy going in the study, in the clinical trials, Ellie?
Oh, well, no.
Ellie, the clinical trials would be no good for you, but seriously, if you've hit a plateau, I can probably help you to overcome that.
Yeah.
And, you know, ring in, get my number, you know, there will be no charge, you know, I'll help you if I can.
How do you keep going, Ellie? Because I've done it, I've lost 3 stone in the past, but I'm larding up again, and it's easy to slip back into your bad old habits.
It is, but then it's easy to slip back into your own habits if you're classing it as a diet, Bernsey. If you're classing it as something you're doing for life, then no, you don't really. I mean, I ended up, in fact, a year ago, as of more or less this week, I had shoulder surgery, and I did put a bit of my weight back on, but now it's gone and I'm back training. I purely put on weight because I carried on eating what I was eating, and I wasn't going out for a walk, or I wasn't going out for a run. I'm going to say it's not easy. The thing is, it is all small steps. People look at me now and they see one huge step, and it certainly hasn't been a huge step getting there. It's been baby steps right the way along. I couldn't walk at 2 miles an hour when I started walking, and now I'm running at 5-6 miles an hour.
Good on you, kid.
It is all, and I haven't done that overnight. It's taken 3 years, and it's taken a lot of heartache, not only through losing Dad, the life I lead now is completely different to the life I used to lead.
Bet you feel better for it.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Wouldn't change it for the world. The only thing I'd change is having my dad back.
Okay, can I just say one thing? I don't know whether you read Dawn French in the paper yesterday, saying she sort of lost 7 stone. She quite liked her old body and her own self, and she was adjusting.
Like the curves, God love her.
Yeah, she was adjusting to a new self. Did it take a while for you to adjust to your new self?
Took me 4.5 stone to look in the mirror and see a different person.
Did it?
Yeah, I've got a lady at the moment. She's lost 7 stone with me now.
Wow.
And this lady, she was 25 stone when she first came to see me, and so she's about halfway to where she wants to be. And a thinking changed fairly quickly, but it's keeping that motivation going as well, which is the hard bit, because my aim is to get somebody to lose 1 to 2 pound a week without feeling like they're on a diet. I say by those small realistic changes, but if somebody's got a long way to go, and we can be really hung up by the scales, it can be a massive demotivator to us, because you can work hard all week and think, well, I've lost a pound, is it worth it, and go back to doing what you were doing before. But this lady who's lost the 7 stone, her trigger was her friend's son, who was 7, and she could see that she wasn't going to be around to see him grow up. And that was the trigger, but she wasn't actually an unhappy person at 25 stone. And so she's now adjusting to being a different person, and that's what she's really getting her head around now, that she in a way feels more exposed to people looking at her at the weight she is now than she did when she was 25 stone. So it is all about, I say, mind stuff and how we feel about ourselves and this little voice in our head.
Yeah, it is. And I think a lot of it as well is setting yourself a challenge. I mean, I always set myself a challenge.
You've got to set goals. Whatever you do has to be a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've plateaued, what I would suggest you do, Ellie, is the first thing is to set a new goal. So go out and buy something, say new, the next size down you want to be, hang it on the outside of your wardrobe door so you see it all of the time.
Yeah.
So you're focused on the next goal, because sometimes we plateau because we've actually reached the goal that we originally set in our head.
Yeah.
Ellie, pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Look after yourself.
Yeah,
Keep it going. Let us know how you get on.
I will do.
All right. Cheers, Ellie. Thank you very much for that. Have you got a website, Sheila?
Yes, I have. It's www.sheilagranger.com.
Okay, and that's Granger with an AI.
No I.
No I. Right.
Like the film star.
Like the film star. Okay, well, I might come and see you. I wouldn't mind looking like a film star, but I could, I could do with at least a couple of stone off. We'll see. Let us know how the clinical trials go.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
I'm fascinated, and hopefully we'll meet you again and come in and talk to us. Time is rather against us, and it seems people will feel that I've set the last record up of the show. Barry White, he could have done with he could have done with losing a bit, couldn't he? The big walrus of love. Yeah, yes. No, don't go there, Benzie. Sheila, lovely to meet you. Thank you very much. Beverly-based Sheila Granger.